Howdy folks, welcome back to Cray Outdoors. Today we are back on Red House Lake, potentially for the last time in a very, very long time. They're finally starting to draw down the water here. It's only dropped a couple of feet so far, but it's dropping fast. They're supposed to drop it over the course of a week or so. So this could be my last chance to really fish it well. Once the drawdown happens, I don't know if they're going to allow kayaks out here, people to fish it, and it's probably going to be super, super muddy. Anyway, it hasn't really been drawn down to the point where it's at the muck yet. But I have no idea what the drawdown's going to do to the fishing or the fish in this lake. They transported some of the lake. They transported some of the fish to Quaker. So I don't know how we're going to do fishing today, but good news is I do see lots of fish activity. Stuff's jumping around. It's the first really warm day we've had in a long time, so conditions are good. We got our first mini bite. Oh, no, there's a fish on there. Got a mini bite. Feels like a... can't quite get a gauge on it. Not for this lake. That's not a bad sized fish. I think I let him take it too long. Oh, he's off. Okay, I guess I didn't let him take it too long. Alright, well, I didn't get him in the kayak, so I guess we won't count him. There we go. Finally got on another one. It's been a while. It's in the weeds. A little guy. Alright, well, first officially landed fish of the day. Fishing's been pretty darn slow, as I sort of expected. Almost shot that bass at my head during the hook set. I hope I got that on film. All that, and I didn't even hook the thing. Ay, ay, ay. Decent one I got on now. I don't know how well he's hooked. He bit right on the cast. Yeah, it's a decent one. He bit right on the cast. I never even had time to even set the hook. Oh, no! I knew he wasn't hooked well. I knew he bit the second it hit the water. I didn't have time to do anything. Dang it, that was a nice fish. That was, you know, that would have been my biggest bass at Red House Lake for the year anyway. Found a fish again, finally. A sinker this time. Cinco, I should say, not a sinker. Alright. Just a little guy. Typical Red House Lake, little bass. Little guy hit the buzzbait. Of course, the little ones, they hit it and hook up good, but he's actually not hooked that well. Never mind, he is hooked pretty well. That big one, man, he hit it right on the cast and came right off. It wasn't that big. It was only about a 17-incher. Alrighty, folks. Well, crazy stuff's starting to happen. We are once again sort of half trolling here. I'm just slowly paddling forward, taking casts with the buzzbait, and letting that weedless beaver bait just kind of chill behind me and bounce over weeds and stuff. There we go. There's a fish. Doing the trolling method. I've never trolled a soft plastic that has virtually no action to it before. I can't believe this is actually working. It's just interesting. I mean, I'm not normally, when you're trolling, you're using a crankbait or, you know, something that moves. I've just got this thing. I mean, the tails flap a little bit while it's sinking, but it doesn't have a lot of action to it. But it's very, very weedless, and there is a lot of weeds in this lake. Now that they're draining it, the weeds are even worse. Why is this hook not coming out of this thing? He's hooked good. Boy, is he hooked good. Alrighty, and he hooked himself too on a weedless lure. Alright. Let you go, buddy. It's once again gorgeous out here. Leaves are just starting to change. We're in the early stages of fall. Well, we missed our first, which that wasn't my fault, that was the bass's fault for missing it. We just missed an explosion. Freaking big fish exploded on it. Probably got on our last fish of the day. The little ones we have no problem hooking and keeping them hooked. We cannot keep the big ones hooked though. Quite frustrating. I don't know how I can see in the camera, I know it's getting dark, but this is probably going to be the last fish of the day. We're down to our last couple casts as we're going in here. We're finally calling it quits here. It's getting dark and still got to work tomorrow. So we're going to call it quits today. Fishing was, I guess, about what I expected given the conditions here. It was fair. Granted that the fact is the first day they're draining the lake, so I think that's got the fish a little freaked out. And they transferred a lot of the fish out of here. So at the very end of the night there, I had a fish hit the buzzbait. And I didn't get it on film, I wasn't filming, but it hit the buzzbait with its mouth closed and sent the lure flying feet into the air. It was crazy. I've only ever had that happen to me once before. I still had a good time out here. This is a gorgeous lake. I just wanted to get out here and fish it one more time. Later on that week, I headed back out to Red House Lake. My plan was to mainly do some metal detecting while I was there, and I was just going to bring a fishing rod with me and take a few casts if I ended up seeing any fish. But as it turned out, there was a big deep hole right in front of the fishing pier there, and that's where all the fish that were, you know, in the island area of the lake ended up just kind of schooling up there. There was a school, a dozen or so trout, and I missed one on my very first cast, as you'll see. And so after that, I just had the fever. I ended up fishing the whole time and not even doing much metal detecting. I didn't end up catching any more trout, but I did get a lot of practice in with my fly rod, which was good. And I caught some bass at the end, so I just figured I'd include some of the clips from that day as well. First cast, oh no, it came off. We had a trout on our very first cast. That was a nice trout. Unbelievable. There's a fish. Not bad size, not bad size. Yeah, it's smaller than I thought actually. Not terrible size. We're on the board anyway. Nice. Alright. Let this guy go. Little guy. We'll take him though. It's a start. Finally gave up on trout fishing. Another one. Another jumper. Another smaller one. Yep. See some bigger fish swimming around, but can't seem to get the bigger ones to bite. Alright, it's not quite big enough to keep. And number 3. Spider again. Hopefully this one comes off the hook a little easier. And it did. Cool. He might be 12 inches, but I guess we're going to let him go still. So far the fish seem to be doing okay in here despite the drawdown. So at the end of the day, I made the mistake of going to the other side of the lake where I was catching the fish off of my kayak the day before. Never leave fish to find fish. It ended up being a mistake. It was just a muddy, buggy mess down there, and I didn't catch anything. But I still had a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Keep in mind you're no longer allowed to have boats out on Red House Lake. They don't even want people going out onto the lake bed. Basically, I fished it just in time. I filmed this video right before they ended water recreation activities on the lake. So just keep that in mind if you're going there playing. You still can fish right where the creek goes in, but there's hardly any water there now. This was a couple weeks ago. I'm getting very behind on my videos, and so I apologize for that. I've just been doing so much, taking advantage of the nice stretch of weather we had here. I've been doing so much fishing and filming, I just haven't had a lot of time for editing, but lots of exciting stuff coming, so be sure to subscribe. I cannot wait to share with you guys Some of the upcoming videos are just going to be awesome. I had some amazing experiences recently, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next adventure. Lots of fishing and metal detecting videos to come.